Howdy folks, Eric here, back with another standard brew, this time built around Secret of Bloodbending, a pretty difficult to cast card from the Avatar set. Quadruple blue, sorcery lesson, apparently. And basically 4 mana to take control of your opponent's next combat. But if you pay an additional 10 mana via waterbending, you gain control of their whole turn completely. So, how are we utilizing this card? Well, I've seen some builds that are attempting to actually consistently waterbend this. We're not really trying to do that. We're just going to take control of our opponent's combat step, which essentially is a fog. It's an expensive fog, but if you look at it as you get control of their turn, and get to do stuff at instant speed, basically, while you're controlling them, it becomes a lot more effective than, say, Fog against decks that don't care about their combat step as much. So you can force them to tap out. You can make them cast instants if they don't tap themselves out before they give you control. And you can make them make some bad attacks, which is not really that relevant, but for the most part, it's a big fog. With the option in the late game to be a Mindslaver type effect. So how do we win? Well, to be honest with you, we're just going to mill them. It's not sexy. It's not clever. We have no creatures in the main deck. We are at full-on turbofog. 1 River Turn Monument in a Dream. Also a water crystal. But more on that in a bit. We are a Waterbending Scroll deck as well. Because this Secret of Bloodbending is quadruple blue, I figured at first in my testing I'd just go straight up mono blue, 23 islands, utilize Waterbending Scroll. If you're not familiar with this card, this is also from Avatar, a 2-mana artifact. It has 6 mana, draw a card. This ability costs 1 less for each, 1 less to activate for each island you control. So once you get to 6 islands, this taps, draws a card, can do it again next turn, over and over, and eventually bury your opponent in card advantage. So what are the fogs that we're playing, essentially? We have 4 Spectral Restitching, aka Hide on the Ceiling, from the Spider-Man set. Exile X target artifacts and or creatures, return them to the battlefield under their owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. We are on 4 Aetherize, 3 Secret of Bloodbending, and 4 Drix's Interception. A sneaky little common from the Spider-Man set as well. Counter target spell, and or tap 1 or 2 target creatures. So we should be able to catch some people off guard playing this outside of limited, countering their thing and tapping them out, kind of like a cheaper Cryptic Command. Like, Cryptic Command has been cast for worse than that. Other than that, a bunch of counter spells. 3 steps ahead, 4 of them. You can copy your Waterbending Scrolls just to go crazy with the card advantage. 4 Into the Floodmaw. 3 Consult the Star Charts to dig for our fog effects or our win conditions. 4 Long River's Pull. This is just straight up counterspell most of the time. And when it's not, it lets them draw a card. But that's not a big deal when we're not really trying to win on the axis of that kind of card advantage anyway. We have tools to delay, and then eventually just mill our opponent out. 4 Aetherize, of course. 1 River's Rebuke, just in case our opponent has a bunch of non-creature stuff and we need like a hard reset. And that's pretty much the idea. Just build the most annoying deck you could really conceive of. I'm not sure if I mentioned I hit Mythic recently, and I think I'm just ready to get back in there with a meme deck and tank my rank. So we'll see. Hoping for if the games go long, which they really might, I'll play 3 matches and try to go for like a 2-1. I think I would chalk that up to a victory. But if the games are short and we get a full 5 in, that'd be pretty cool too. In that case, I would say a 3-2 record would be very good with this deck. As for the sideboard, I'm on 3 Mind Skinner. I'm all in on the mill. I'm thinking that, like, if my opponents see that I have no creatures in my main deck whatsoever, they'll be like, okay, take out all the removal, just bring in whatever. And then maybe I get to sneak in and mill my opponents out with the Mind Skinner, which I've never done. So I think that'd be a pretty fun dream to live. 4 Soul Guide Lantern, 4 Negates, and then 4 Demolition Field. We can't beat Cavernous Souls, and we can't beat Mistrise Village. Any lands, basically, that allow our opponents to cast uncounterable spells. That's basically it. So goals for this video: Bloodbend an opponent completely, take their whole turn and win that way. I think that'd be really fun. Also win a couple matches. That's basically it. Hopefully our opponents don't get too mad at us, and we'll jump right in. One thing that I've noticed in my testing with this deck is that the arena UI for controlling an opponent's turn is really bad and unintuitive. So if I make some kind of obvious mistake while I'm controlling an opponent's turn, don't try not to be too mad at me. It's like, it's too I don't know, it doesn't really give you priority in the right ways. Like even if you set stops, it doesn't like seem to fully understand that you are setting the stop as the other player. And when you could take game actions like tapping their lands, it doesn't let you always. So I'm gonna do everything I can to like hold priority and set as many stops as I can in the relevant phases to try to like make it actually work. But at the very least, even if I don't do that, it forces my opponent to skip their combat. So okay, jumping into match number 1. I think this is a pretty solid hand. No Waterbending Scroll, which is our main form of card advantage, really. One thing I didn't mention, you can use the Spectral Stitching, aka Hide on the Ceiling, to reset your scrolls and draw another card. Kind of like Cryogenic Relic, except a little worse, maybe. They pass here fully. I'm just going to fire off this Consult the Star Charts, try to hit my 3rd land drop here. Spectral Restitching. Really important that we keep hitting our land drops in this deck. Creature deck, fortunately, we're pretty much packed to the brim with ways to interact with creature decks in our main board, so just Aetherize them to pieces here. Keen-Eyed Curator is fine. Passing it to me. I think I'm just going to fire off a 3 steps ahead, get some card advantage here. I guess it's not card advantage, necessarily. Filter through our hand a little. They got the rabbits. Pass it to me. Go ahead and fire this off. I'm going to discard a Long Rivers Pull here. I think the double Aetherize is a little more important. Consult the Star Chart's not bad. They might go for an Ouroboros. Passing it to me. Swinging with a Curator and 2 rabbits. And a Gene Pollinator. Well, I think I'm pretty happy to Aetherize this. That's no problem. They'll learn their lesson here. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah. We're doing Aetherize stuff today. I'm sorry. Couple guys. Secret of Bloodbending. Okay, pretty cool. I'd love to get a Water Scroll online, Waterbending Scroll, so I think I'm just going to fire off this Consult the Star Charts, kick it. Not taking too much damage here. The Waterbending, like, we're built around Secret of Bloodbending, but the Waterbending Scrolls are the card in the deck. It's really the main reason to play something like this in strictly mono blue. If you wanted to go for more of like a built around Bloodbending style, I'd probably play like blue-white, and there are just a ton of cards that make tokens. You can still play all blue lands basically. Fire off, consult the star charts. We'll take an island. We'll take an Into the Floodmaw. I think that's okay. Not the best hits. There's a Waterbending Scroll. That is our best hit. And we have 6 islands online, so we can just tap this to draw immediately. Hold up and Aetherize. We've pretty much made it. I think we're pretty much in the lock. Once we hit a Waterbending Scroll and we have like counter magic up and multiple sources of fogs, basically, it becomes very, very difficult for our opponent to win, especially if they're not interacting with us at all. They might think about scooping up. I don't know. We have 2 win cons in our deck, to be fair, so it's going to take a while. But there's really not a whole lot they can do. Like, I can just take this hit, and it's not a big deal. There's nothing too particularly scary in mono green, I think. I guess there's like a Baloth that can't be countered. That could be a little annoying. Oh, another Waterbending Scroll. Huge. This should accelerate us quite a lot. Pretty much guarantee that we hit our land drops. And then on a critical turn with Secret of Bloodbending, you can tap the Waterbending Scrolls for extra mana, basically. If you wanted to try to waterbend it. Archdruid's Charm. Searching for a land. Oh, they could exile target artifact or enchantment. Good to know. We'll play around that. Might just go for an Aetherize here. Depending on what they attack with. But I kind of think we're bloodbending them in a way. It's kind of like our whole deck is bloodbending them, you know? Not really doing anything to them, but forcing them to not be able to play the game. There's a Cavern of Souls on plant. Might be a little too late situation. Could just go for a Spectral Restitching here. Like, they have the rabbits and they'll get a bunch of counters, but we have enough tools, I think, at this point in the game that they probably can't win through this. Sure. So let's go Spectral Restitching this time. We'll do it for 4. Target, 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 target. We'll be able to draw an extra card off of this. They'll get counters like crazy, but this should not matter. We have enough tools, like I said. Better to use the stitching now when the attack is this relatively light and manageable by it. And then on their end step, we get to draw a card off of Waterbending Scroll. Start playing some lands. Could fire off a Secret of Bloodbending. I think it's better to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll just pass. I think it's just better to Aetherize here. The guys are large. Draw a card. Draw a card. Okay. Oh, Drake's Interception. Cool. We can just Aetherize this. Maybe I start countering some of their creatures. Like if they go Kicked Paw Patch. This is not with Offspring. Just a guy. Maybe we send back the Ouroboros. Paw Patch. Taking control of their turn completely probably doesn't do a whole lot here anyway. We really just need to be able to combo off into several Aetherize, Bloodbending effects, basically. Find our win con. Hitting more land drops. I think this turn we probably just spend it like tapping down their creatures. They can only attack with 6 things. We could like double Drix's Interception into the Floodmaw something. They probably can't swing with a lethal guy. Save the Bloodbending for one more turn. Probably don't need another long reverse pull, although we're pretty likely to hit another island in our next few draws anyway. Oh, they just decide to pass. Yeah. Have some guys down. They're gonna get big counters here. My graveyard is not relevant. Definitely need to see some more critical fog pieces. Would love to see a win con. Now would be a good time to land a water crystal. Gotta tap some more guys. I'll just go here. Plan to bounce one of the Paw Patch recruits. I guess I could have just planned to bounce a Keen-Eyed Curator. That probably would have been better, although. Yeah, that probably would have been better. Alright, we're still drawing a lot of cards. They'll have a Secret of Bloodbending. I think our opponent is starting to get a little frustrated, perhaps. Kinda not a whole lot of decisions to be made here, taking their time with it. Alright, things are moving along. What you got? Overprotect? Well, I can counter an Overprotect. Do you have another Overprotect? No. I'm going to save my Into the Floodmaw here. There's not really a difference between being at 13 and being at 3 or 4. Back to my turn. Another Secret of Bloodbending. That's nice. Let's draw some cards. Aetherize, nice. Okay, feeling pretty good again. I was scared for but a brief moment. 3 steps ahead's nice. We can copy one of our Waterbending Scrolls here. So let's just go ahead and cast a Secret of Bloodbending, and then we can use the 3 steps ahead mana to copy a Waterbending Scroll. Did I say 3 steps ahead mana? Use our mana, the remaining mana, on their turn, while we have control of them. Okay, so hopefully I'm able to manage this. They're reading the card. They've never seen it before in their life. I could also just swing completely out tap out and force them to attack into an Aetherize. There's not a huge difference between that and how things develop normally, I suppose. It's kind of an interesting idea. I suppose the difference between, now that I say it, 13 and 4 is that they do have some hasty Baloths, which cannot be countered. So I'm exiling my graveyard. Okay. So they might have some decisions to make before they let me pass into combat here. Ideally, they probably just tap themselves out. They should probably tap their elves and their gene pollinator as well. They play a frenzied Baloth. Good to know that they have 2. They pass into combat, so now I have control over their attack here, basically. So I need to turn on full control, and I need to set stops at every moment, basically, I think, so that I can kind of do my stuff here. They have 2 Ouroboros, 2 Agnosaur Rexes. I don't think we care about doing anything with any of this. We don't want to use their mana to cycle it. I think I am just going to swing out and Aetherize this. No, that's probably worse than just not attacking. Tapping their stuff. So let's go no attacks. Pass it to them. Why am I not able to do any actions on their turn here? I control that player during their combat phase. Why am I not able to, you know, tap them out? Not that it's super relevant here. I know what they have. It's just a little, it's just, yeah, it's weird that it just doesn't work. It doesn't make a difference here, but it is weird that it just doesn't work. We'll make a copy of our Waterbending Scroll here. Draw a card. Yeah, a little frustrating. I can't really recommend playing this on Arena because I can't... maybe there is a way to do it, but I can't figure it out. Setting all the stops. Holding control. Okay, we are in the Waterbending Scroll zone now. The most annoying deck of all time. Drawing infinite cards. There's our Water Crystal, which they probably can't beat. So we can Secret of Waterbending them. They have an Archdruid's Charm in their deck. Let's just go ahead and wait, play it safe. On this Waterbending Crystal here. Another Aetherize, nice. And I think we should be able to lock this one up pretty cleanly. Ditch this island. I'm just going to pass through all this. Basically just Time Walk. I know they have a Snakeskin Veil, that's good. Water Crystal. Blue spells I cast cost less. Draw some cards. I can also pay 6 to mill them, equal to the number of cards in my hand. And then whenever I mill an opponent, they mill that much plus 4. So even if I draw a million cards here, pretty easy to close it out with. just looking for the monument at this point, or another Secret of Bloodbending actually makes things pretty easy. It's Time Walk, or Time Warp is probably a closer comparison. We don't need any of this stuff. No attacks. My turn. Let's draw a card. River's Rebuke. Okay, we can draw a million cards, make them mill quite a lot. They're choosing to sit through it. There's our River Turn Monument. Let's go ahead. I think we can just mill them for a million here. Probably just better to play the River Turn Monument, hold up infinite interaction. You can also reset your River Turn Monuments with spectral restitching, so you can exhaust it, flicker it, and then exhaust it again. I think we can get away with a River's Rebuke here just for fun. Simplifies things. Good to get a little more information about what's in their deck here. We can just Aetherize their Baloths. And we pretty much mill them out next turn, I think. Maybe I should have just tapped that. Yeah, I'm afraid you're Milt. I'm afraid you're Milt. Go ahead and discard half your hand. Discard half your hand. And then I think this should do it. We can draw a million cards, make them mill equal to the amount of cards in our hand plus 4, and then exhaust the River Turn Monument, which is, I think, probably just going to be enough. I'm not doing the math right now, but I will if I feel like I have to. I can also 3 steps ahead my River Turn Monument, make a copy. We pretty much have all the mana to do whatever we want, basically. So only 11 cards left in our deck. Pretty good game 1, only game 1. Half an hour into the recording here. This is why I said I think I'll only play probably 3 matches with this or so. Draw cards. Draw cards. Increase the amount of cards in my hand. Fire off the Water Crystal. Exhaust, River Turn Monument. Ooh. That could have been bad. All right. That'll do it. Let's see if they want to play another game. Against this deck, actually, Mind Skinner seems pretty okay. They have the Archdruid's Charm. I think I like having another kind of way to win here. And we're pretty good against this deck anyway. We'll probably find opportunities to be able to tap out for it. Can't really see it going too wrong. Maybe consult the star charts. I like the River's Rebuke. Cut a Spectral Restitching. Cut a 3 steps ahead. Probably leaving 2 Spectral Restitching. I think this is pretty good. This should be a good matchup. We'll see what they have in the sideboard here. Clearly Aetherize and Bloodbend are the best cards for us here, but Spectral Restitching is pretty nice. Just have to play around Overprotect in certain spots. They probably have a lot of artifact hate in green, which is why I brought in the Mind Skinners, plus unblockable, likely to be pretty uninteractable. Can it block Mind Skinner? Can it just block and kill a creature? I'll have to read it when it comes up. Kind of an interesting idea. Okay, probably the best card against me here. I think I'll just bounce it. I can't counter it, but I can bounce it. Okay. This is pretty much the best thing they could be doing against me here, I think. We'll counter this. Ooh. Wait. Oh. Not okay, all creature spells can't be countered. Good to know. Yeah, pretty much the best thing they could be doing against me. Grab an island. Good to know. Pretty good. I like that we're hitting our land drops. Could use a form of card advantage. Can't do anything about that. Swinging at me. Gonna go for a consult the star charts here again. Gotta find some action pretty quickly here. The Drix's interception's not bad. Better than a Long River's Pole in this spot. I think it's better to Aetherize first and then Bloodbend a turn. They might try to just make me have it here. We'll Aetherize this. Probably just get their Baloth back down. Going for a full Paw Patch. That could be a bit of a mistake, maybe. Grix's interception. Tap 2. They're going to be pretty large. Plus haste. I think I have to Bloodbend here. Unfortunately. Yeah, this Frenzied Baloth is pretty pesky. So I don't think there's anything relevant going on here. I'm not going to cycle the Agnosaurus Rex because it's generally pretty bad against us. I wish I could tap them out in this position. If someone knows and is watching this right now, tell me your secrets, because I should be given a chance in one of these steps to tap them out, but I just can't figure it out. Oh, here we go. We did it. Waterbending Scroll, nice. Waterbending Scroll, nice. I think I'm just dead though. Yeah. I don't think there's anything I could draw here. Or got too big too fast, and not being able to counter their stuff was pretty tough. Not much we can do about that. We are basically mono blue counter spells anyway, so just gotta hope that they don't draw the Baloth in game 3 here. This looks pretty good. Test out the Mind Skinner. It can block, so maybe blocking a Baloth is just what we try to do. Llanowar Elves. Tap out for an early scroll here. Ooh, another one. Gotta hit our third land drop, though, to really be able to do anything. In fact, I wouldn't mind the next 4 draws being islands. That wouldn't be so bad. Ay. Okay. Tough. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. It's my comeuppance. It's my comeuppance for game 1. Got a game win in, though. That counts for something. That counts for something. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Got a game win in, though. Counts for something. Would you have kept that hand? Maybe our land count needs to be higher, so it's just so critical that we get up to 6 mana, essentially. I mean, we just need to hit our land drops every turn, and we don't have a lot of cheap card draw. So if you were to make a like deck building critique, I think that's a pretty fair one. Maybe you could go up a couple islands and down a couple 3 steps ahead. If you wanted to build this deck, I can't really recommend that you build this deck, honestly, but if you wanted to build this deck, that might be the first step. I think Bloodbend is kind of powerful. I think you could come up with some better win conditions than just like a River Churn Monument and a Water Crystal, but it's not bad. It's maximum meme, really. It's maximum meme. Ducky Mang. Alright, look alive. Game 1. Ducky Mang has no idea what's in store for them. So innocent, so young. I'm gonna keep this. I like that it has 4 islands. Oh, a mono blue mirror? Kidding. I'm not really sure how we beat like a Is It Otter's deck either, to be honest. Okay. Voice of Victory. That's cheating. That's cheating. What's with all these people having main deck answers to my to my counter magic? I guess we're taking a spectral restitching. Do I just scoop to Voice of Victory? Can I beat that? I guess I could like. I guess maybe I needed to take the Long Rivers pull there, find an Into the Flood Maw, bounce it, and then. Yeah, all right. I see you. I see you. I can also in my end step exile it, and it won't come back until my turn, giving me a chance to do some stuff. I think what I'm going to do is, in my end step, Spectral restitching these 2 guys. Basically just fog them for the turn here. And then I can untap, bounce the Voice of Victory, and then try to counter it on their turn. It all seems okay. And we'll see. I mean, we'll see what else they have going on. I'm kind of technically still in this, maybe. It really depends on if they have counter backup for this Voice of Victory, which they really could. Ay caramba. Okay. Let's just go big, consult the star charts here. Try to get some land drops. Waterbending Scroll is really nice. Elspeth. Storm Slayer. Big tokens. Big tokens. Yup. I think we gotta take a moment here. Hopefully we get an island. I think I need to get the Waterbending Scroll in play and drawing cards. Okay, nice. Perfect. And then on my end step, I'm going to go for the Spectral Restitching again. this probably keeps me from dying this turn. Next turn I get to draw for free and then Bloodbend them. Probably not winning this game. Probably not winning this game. Probably not winning this game. We'll see what they got going on, though. Counterspells of their own complicates things a little bit. I wouldn't mind drawing another. Ooh, okay. 3 steps ahead, back in hand. Interesting. Cool combo with the Elspeth. Make a little token copy of something. Into the Floodmaw. I think maybe I just go for another Spectral Restitching here. Eat all of their tokens. Because I can do that now. And I guess it really depends on what kind of interaction they have. They could have like a No More Lies. I think I'm going to do this one now. Spectral Stitching them. We'll do it for... I'm just going to go all in. 5. Reset my Waterbending Scroll as well for an extra draw. The most annoying deck of all time. More tokens. More draws. Really don't mind that they're drawing here. Just the fact that they have this 3 steps ahead, which does complicate things. Early builds of mine had Cryogenic Relic, but it's kind of like bad to just tap out on turn 2. Even though it plays nicely with the Spectral Restitchings. This card's a card. Well, we can try to Bloodbend them, I guess. Let's draw one more card before we Bloodbend. Suppose they'll try to counter this. I'd like to see what else is in their hand. They could have double counterspell, which would probably just beat me here. But maybe they'll tap out for a big 3 steps ahead. No More Lies. Yeah, that does complicate things. If I bounce the Voice of Victory... Not going to pay this. If I bounce the Voice of Victory right now, can I live through another turn? Or if I maybe it's better to Spectral Restitching it in my instep again. Just for 1. And then hold up the Into the Floodmaw. Counter target spell. And then they can level up Caretaker's Talent and put on... Yeah, it's kind of almost as if their build is specifically meant to counter mine. I love the idea of the Mind Skinner, though. It's not good, but I love the idea of it being successful, so I'm going to bring it in. We need ways to win through their Voice of Victory. Spectral Restitching kind of was nice. Maybe better than Aetherize. Go down a couple Aetherizes. I liked that the Secret of Bloodbending was still a fog through their Voice of Victory. Go down a couple Drix's Interceptions maybe. Maybe just cut them all. Not really that kind of matchup. Can't really tap a whole lot profitably. Something like that. I don't know. I don't know. Not really too concerned. I don't think this is our match. Um, I don't think this is our match. I'd love to win one though. One match, one game. I'd love to win something. Ooh, a mulligan? Are they digging specifically for Voice of Victory? Maybe we just jam a River Turn Monument and like they don't have an answer to it. I don't know. Why not? Could be. There's the Voice of Victory. Hey, maybe I was supposed to hold up counter magic for the Voice of Victory. Maybe I'm dumb, and maybe I'm bad at Magic the Gathering, actually. Interesting. Who could say? Who can really say? There's a talent. They're hitting me. Somebody stop them. Maybe I should have held up counter magic for the one card I needed to be concerned about on turn 2. Well, I guess we start milling them. We can mill them. I could just make a copy of my River Turn Monument right now. Does that do anything? It amplifies the millitude. I could just draw some cards right now. That's probably better. Try to dig for like okay, Water Crystal's actually kind of good here. Let's just go all in on that. Just try to mill them out. They might not be able to kill us quickly enough. Especially with the River's Rebuke. If we land the Water Crystal, mill them 6, and then we untap with a lot of extra mana with the discount. Maybe. They're drawing a million cards. They could have like a Spell Pierce or something in their deck. Taking some hits. Mill them 2. Get lost. I don't think that hits anything in our deck. Go for the Water Crystal. Tapping out. You have Spell Pierce? That'd be awfully rude of you. A Knoll. Even better. Fair enough. Pass it to you. Elspeth. Storm Slayer. Drawing cards. Hitting me. For a million. We can guaranteed resolve this River's Rebuke next turn if we want to. I suppose we'll see. Might just be better to like... We're at 9. It might just be better to... We're almost at a point where we want to exhaust the River Turn Monument, I think. I guess we can mill them... Because we can exhaust the River Turn Monument, mill them for 7, and then Spectral Restitching, exhaust it again, mill them for 14. Not quite there. Probably better if we just do a natty mill a couple more times. I guess we have to go for the River's Rebuke while we can here. We'll probably have to discard some cards, making our monument a little better. They might just choose to discard the rest if they have counter magic in their hand. Another Voice of Victory. Not a huge deal. Spectral Restitching looks pretty good. With Negate backup. Discards one card. So, assuming if they tap out and play Elspeth, we die. So we do have to make sure that this Spectral Restitching resolves, which we probably means we probably have to hold up Negate. Or we could hold up mana for Normalize. So that's 3 to exile their stuff, and I guess 1 for my Riverturn Monument. I won't be able to exile the Riverturn Monument as well. So let's go ahead. We'll stop on my end step. We'll just go for this sort of fog play. And then this means if they have anything relevant we want to counter on their turn, we should have a window. Like if they tap out for Elspeth, do we even counter it? I'm not really sure that we do. But maybe I'm supposed to mill them for 8 here. Maybe like the only way I win this is if I hit another Spectral Restitching. Kind of think that makes sense to me. Or hit away to copy our Monument. Aetherize. Well, that doesn't do anything. Yeah, that doesn't do anything, unfortunately. Mill them for fun. Scoop it up. Yeah, I think you could say that this loss, at the very least, their deck was very well positioned for what I was trying to do, but also at the same time, I misplayed early on and it snowballed into a pretty easy dub for them. You know, if there's one card that just absolutely ranches your deck, you gotta be mindful of it and not just play lackadaisical, I suppose. One match win would be nice. You know what I was thinking? I said earlier like a 2-1 record would be good. I'm kind of thinking 1-2 is like a pretty cool record. Now that I think about it. I think 1-2 is pretty sweet. I think we should all aspire to maybe hit 1-2s. You know? 1 step forward, 2 steps back. That doesn't sound so bad. Back to the beginning, back to where we all started. Just spitballing here. Doomwake. Doomwake. Magus of the Arena. Is this the Doomwake of Legend? Mulligan that opener. Keep this. I think we always want to see Waterbending Scroll, even though it doesn't get online for a little bit. Let's go ahead. Throw back the 3 steps ahead. Just looking to draw some islands here. Getting hit by an otter. Current standard format and getting hit by an otter. Name a more iconic duo. Oh yeah, it's the Waterbending Scroll. Beat that, Doomwake. Kaito, oh no. Kaito's so good against us. Ah! We have Aetherize, I guess, but yeah, that could be a problem. Pass it back to you. Ooh. Going all in. Hard aggro. Boom. Cryogen Relic. Draw a card. Waterbending Scroll style. Spectral Restitching. Another Aetherize. Sunpearl Kieran. Let that resolve. They're drawing cards. Well, if they have counter magic for my Aetherize, I'm not in a great spot. They just might not. Gotta do this in attacker so they can't do Kaito shenanigans, I guess. Not that it would really matter if they did Kaito shenanigans, because it would eventually resolve anyway, but Aetherize. Whee! Okay. Kaito's back, and bigger than ever. Ninjas are getting big. Tiger Seal. Island's a good draw. We have another Aetherize, and we can draw a card with Waterbending Scroll. Sunpearl Kirin. The creatures are allowed to resolve. Maybe we need less counter magic and more like just like unable to screams, you know, for things like Voice of Victory. Maybe I just take this hit. See what we draw. This isn't a lethal attack quite yet. Although, they're pretty tapped out. I kind of like this. They can't replay Kaito here. Another Tiger Seal. Perhaps the same Tiger Seal. Well, that's definitely a different one. Talent back to the hand. I will draw a card. Island is good. Now give me action. Consult the star charts. Draw a card. Okay. Probably just going to Spectral Restitching this board. Keep them off of Kaito entering play again. Unless they cast him Natty. Cryogen Relic. Well, I guess I could counter this and tap 2 guys. That's kind of interesting, actually. Keeps them off of untapping their Tiger Seals. Yes, read the cards. Yes, Drick's interception. Yes, you fell for my trap, for my ruse, you absolute buffoon. Okay, well, you're gonna get this one, though. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think I just take this one. Well, I don't think that's a big problem for me. I think I'm just going to start digging with Consult the Star Charts. Maybe try to hit another Waterbending Scroll here. Or a... Yeah, I think I like a Waterbending Scroll over our win condition. Draw a card. Would not mind an Aetherize. Draw a card. We're drawn. 3 steps ahead. Interesting. Sunpearl Kirin. Fine. Pretty much just have to go for a big spectral restitching here. Fine. Cryogen Relic. Not ideal. If I counter this, they can probably turn on their seals anyway. I think I'm going to have to... Ooh, I might just be dead with how big Kaito is. I guess if I counter this, it lets them draw. Okay. Not ideal. It'd be nice if they tapped out. That's not gonna happen. So we... How do we play this? I can Spectral Restitching. I guess I probably should have Spectral Restitchinged earlier, because now Kaito's a problem. And I think I'm just dead to Kaito. I guess I could... I guess I'll just make him do it. I don't know. Yeah, you got me, brother. Yeah, he's big. Yeah, he's large and in charge. Okay. Is Mind Skinner good? Probably not. Negate seems okay. Long River's Pole, I think Long River's Pole's gotta go. Too awkward with the seals there. Maybe we bring in one Mind Skinner. Just to see what happens. Just to see what happens. River's Rebuke seems fine. Got a lot of little pieces of garbage to send back up the river. Alright, Doomwake. Let's keep this short, huh? A nice clean hour video. For all the adoring fans out there. All the bloodbending lovers. The 2 bloodbending lovers out there. Forbidden from one another. Tiger Seal. Tiger Seal's a real problem. Probably just have to consult the star charts for a land drop. Yeah, I'm going to negate this. Is that crazy? Change my mind. Just gonna negate that. Gives them too much stuff to do. Grab a land. I can Flood Maw the Tiger Seal. They probably brought in some kind of counter magic situation. Gotta be a little cognizant of that. Riddler. Okay. Yeah, we'll take it. Nice. Waterbending Scroll. And we can pay for a Spell Pierce. Annul? No. What's with all the annuls, dude? Alright, you fell for the ultimate trap. My 1 River Turn Monument sneaks in past the annuls. Kaito, Bane of Nightmares. Yeah, that's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a problem. Tapping out for the Riddler. Okay, so I get to Aetherize Kaito here. That's not too bad. Force them to draw 1,000,000 cards off their Quantum Riddler for the ultimate mill out. Let's be real though. Bloodbending has looked pretty good as far as like time warp effects go. It's not that far off from a time warp in creature matchups, which is kind of interesting. So maybe like being on planeswalkers and just getting extra activations off of that would be kind of interesting. I'm gonna Aetherize this. Bounce your stuff back. Drix's Interception, that's not bad. Do I bounce the Riddler back? I mean, they're pretty excited to ninjutsu in Kaito, I think. I think I have to take this opportunity to bounce the Riddler. See if I can just counter Kaito if they play him raw. They're probably smarter than that. Set up with the Tiger Seal. Go for the ninjutsu. Ninjutsu. Quantum Riddler. Yeah, I'm just going to counter that. Simplifies things a little bit. Tiger Seal. How about Milieu? 2 spectral restitchings. Feeds our monument a little bit here. They have to figure out a way to draw pre-Kaito, Riddler. They figured it out. I'm going to go for a stitching here. Continue to try to delay Kaito. It's Kaito Natty. Fair enough. Come on, show me the secrets of bloodbending. Show me your secret ways. Off the top, one time. Ah, 3 steps ahead. Well, I could copy my river turn monument here. And then pretty much lose. Not a whole lot I can do. I really just need to draw. Need to draw the right stuff, you know? So maybe I need to do the full 3 steps ahead thing. Counter, draw 2, discard 1. Go for it. They might just counter this. They're at 11, which means I'm winning. Which means I'm winning. Hits me for 3. Now the Tiger Seal untaps. Ooh, Surveil 2 into the yard? Riverturn Monument that much closer to winning the game for us? Actually, Bloodbending. Okay. Bloodbend you? That doing anything for you? Imagine if I had like 10 more islands in play. I could go like exhaust, flicker, exhaust. Don't spell pierce me, bro. I will pay for it. What you got? Disdainful stroke. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, well, I might not be dead this turn necessarily. Kaito's at 5. Plus another 3. Mill them for 2. Yeah. The Riddler. Drick's interception, huh? Well, I can't interact with Kaito. So I'm dead. Because I can't interact with Kaito. Anyone else feel like all of my opponents on this run were plants, specifically to just absolutely ranch me with like these main deck hate pieces that like Kaito is so incredibly good against what I'm doing. Voice of Victory and then the Baloth from round 1. Hey, I got one game win in. That looked pretty convincing. Remember when I said 2-1 and then I said 1-2? Well, what I really meant was like one game win, and I'm gonna feel pretty good with one game win. Thanks for watching. That was Mono Blue Bloodbending. Didn't go well. Didn't go well, but I'm not discouraged. I'm gonna come back bigger and stronger than ever, and maybe figure out how to actually cast it where it does some like meaningful thing. Problem really with it in standard right now is, I guess I would say half the time, even if you took control of your opponent's turn, with the kind of cards that are being played in standard right now, it probably doesn't even win you the game necessarily. You know what I mean? Like in modern, if you take control of someone's turn, you probably win 90% of the time. But here, it's like, okay, I take control of your turn. You have an Ouroboros on the field, and your creatures just get bigger, and I fog you, I guess, which is fine. But 4 mana is pretty expensive for a fog. I guess I could see, like, if you're playing a deck with a lot of flyers, like if you know, 4 of the Spyglass pirate 1/1s, right? And then just go from there. Build a deck full of flyers, and then eventually use your Bloodbends as a way to essentially just get 2 attack phases in, because they can't, or you can force them to attack to clear blockers. Kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting. But yeah, here's a meme video for you. Hopefully next time I'll come back stronger with something a little more legit. But had my fun. Thanks for watching. And I'll catch you back next time with more daily standard content. See ya.